What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be and welcome to Last CLOUDIA. And I swear I'm not saying it like that on purpose. It's the only way I know how to pronounce it. Let me get back to my video. This is a brand new, don't really want to call it a hero collector. This game feels like a progression-based RPG. It just came out today, so if you are interested in playing this title, I will have the links in the description below. This is a brand new effort from the same exact development team that brought you Grand Summoners, and I'm always interested when a developer has a second chance at making a mobile game. I kind of want to see what lessons they learned the first time around to make their second effort even better. So let us go on this journey called Last CLOUDIA. So I know I just said that this is not a hero collector per se, but we're still going to start off with the heroes that you can collect. And as you guys can see, not the biggest roster of characters here. And the reason for that is because these characters kind of share the spotlight with the arc system. And I'm going to talk about the arc system in detail a little bit later in the video. I do want to at least show you the characters and show you combat first, so you can even see if you're interested in the game to begin with before I go into lecture mode. So this game is normally a portrait-based game. I do have the game in landscape for the sake of the YouTube. Right when you play the game, you're going to get a free multi as well as enough currency to do another multi. So I got this character out of one of those multi-pools right in the beginning of the game, like within 20 minutes or so. This character came out of the gacha as well. This is one of the story-based characters. We're all going to have this character right off the bat. This is a character that you get a little bit later in the game, about a couple hours in. This is one of the main story characters. We're all going to have him. Got him out of the gacha. And this is your main character. So, like I said, the reason why the roster is so small is because these characters really share the spotlight with the arc system. I would say that the arc system is equally, if not more important than the characters that you can collect. And it's the main reason why I'm going to be deleting this account and starting over, because I pulled like 3 characters out of the gacha and I was all super happy, not realizing that the real star of the show, like I said, is mostly the arc systems. And this is all going to make sense a little bit later. Let me show you what combat looks like first. I'm not going to go into the world map into the campaign mode because this is going to tie into the arc system a little bit later. Let's just go to the event tab over here. Now you do have your tried and true daily resource grinds. As you guys can see, you have entries here that replenish over time. You start off with 5 and I think they replenish every hour. Every single day you can run the gold rush once a day. This changes. Of course, today is Thursday, so it's green day. And then you have your limit breaker field, which allows you to gather materials and power up. So since this is limited, we're going to go to the green day. We're going to go on easy. You can bring yourself a nice little supporter unit. You can see which arc they have as well, which once again is very important. I actually like this guy right over here. So let's jump in. Now, as you guys can see, you can bring 3 characters. Each of the characters has an arc equipped. And then, of course, your supporter. Now, this game doesn't have like a true stamina system. Basically, your stamina is based on which arcs you bring into combat with you. So as you guys can see, this arc right over here costs 19 red, 84 blue, 170 blue. So my total cost to even enter this stage is 254 blue souls, 19 red souls. So the game doesn't have a true stamina system, but those souls right there are going to be your limiting factor on how much you can play every single day. And like I said, once we get to the actual world map, I'm going to explain the world map. I'm going to explain the arc system. We're going to explain where you get those currencies from, etc., etc. I just want to show you combat first, just to see if you even like the game. So here we are. Once again, this is on landscape mode, so your game is going to look a little different. But as you guys can see, you can switch between any character that you want. Over time, you generate skill points over here. Check this out. So this is Ice Coffin. As you guys can see, it has a 2 next to it. If I keep waiting, it'll continue to generate up. And what I can do with no cooldown, as long as I have them loaded up, I can just spam out Ice Coffin over and over and over and over again. So if I want to wait until I get 5 of those and wait till I get to the boss and just spam 5 Ice Coffins all in a row, I can do that, which is actually pretty interesting. Depending on how powerful the move is, dictates how many you can actually store up. And like I said, at any time, I can kind of get real fancy with it and do some juggles. As long as the enemies are in the air, they're not doing damage to you and they take even more damage. So it's a very good strategy to kind of bounce back and forth between multiple characters, spamming your abilities, keeping the enemies up in the air. That way you kill them faster and you take little to no damage. Now, when you don't have someone targeted, the autoplay takes control. I saw in the JP version there's like a full autoplay, but after a few hours of gameplay, I still haven't gotten to the point where you have full control or full auto, but I think that is a thing. But once again, don't quote me on that. I see you trying to write it down. In addition to skills, you also have magic attacks. Now your magic is dictated on your MP right over here. And I do like the fact that you can go into the magic screen over here and everything stops. So you can take your time, press Ice Javelin, find out who you want to fight. The game will actually show you what resistance the enemy has that you're targeting. So right here, I would probably want to go for a lightning attack as opposed to whatever this is, like a light attack. So lightning is stronger, and it looks like fire, ice, and grass are just like neutral. So we're gonna go ahead and cast that. There is a casting time, and I feel like you can be interrupted. So be on the lookout for that. But that's basically combat. There you go. Now, the last thing I haven't showed you just yet is the ultimate. Now, we're on the warning stage, which is the final stage. This is where the bosses are. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, just spam my ice coffin. Spam, 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 spam. Just go ahead and juggle them, throw some blizzard rain on them. The soundtrack in this game is amazing. There is, oh, let me do my ultimate really quick. Ready? This is like a big buff that gives all my party members increased strength as well as intelligence. And the AI, when you're not controlling them, will do their ultimates as well. I just broke the enemy. Now you can kind of see the screen goes crazy. We're doing tons of damage. They can't hit me back. I'm spamming like a mad person. I'm doing all the things to do as much damage as I possibly can. But there you go. That is combat. Like I said, the only thing that could be missing is there might be a full auto mode in this game somewhere. I swear I've seen it. I just have not unlocked it just yet. And I'm not going to unlock it anytime soon because, like I said, I am deleting this account and starting over so I can get some better arcs. You've been talking about arcs all this video, FG. Let's talk about it. Good point. Let's go. All right. So we talked about arcs in the sense of them being a gate to you getting inside stages and running them. But let's actually talk about why the arcs are so important and why they're probably more important than characters in this game. Actually, not probably. They are. They absolutely are. Characters themselves, you can, unless there's like a character you really like, I say just get the best arcs you possibly can and just shove them on whichever characters you like the most. And like I said, we're about to explain it right now. So here's my squad right over here. Now, this is the arc that I have equipped on my prince right over here, and basically this is how it works. While you have this arc equipped on this character, he's going to gradually gain experience with this arc. It reminds me of like the materia system from like Final Fantasy. As long as you have like that summon equipped on you, that summon teaches you things, and it's the same exact concept. So right now, my prince over here has had this equipped long enough to master regenerate. So now, check this out. If I do a long press on my prince over here, go to my skill set, he has the ability to regenerate. He will always have regenerate. Even if I unequip that arc and equip a different arc on him, he's still gonna have regenerate on his kit because he's already mastered it. So a lot of what you're gonna be doing in this game is kind of bouncing these back and forth, equipping them on different characters and teaching them all of these abilities because in theory, one character can literally learn every single ability in the game. Every single one. They might not have access to them in combat, but they can have them on their bench. Now let me kind of explain what that means here in a second. So equip the arc on your character. The longer you equip it, the more experience, the more stages you do, the more they learn, the more they learn, the more they master, the more they master, the more skills and more variety you have on your character. Now, when it comes to actually equipping them, as you guys can see, regenerate over here costs 2 skill points. So right here, and you can kind of see your overall skill cost right over here. So I'm 2 out of 20. So even if I had 100 different skills on this screen, along with 100 different passives, I can only equip an amount of skills and amount of passives that are going to equal 20, unless I have more of these little souls right over here that I believe that you get through duplicates. We're going to do some summons and maybe kind of figure that out together. But as you increase your skill cost limit, you can then equip even more skills. So once again, you can have a massive library of skills, but you can only bring so many of them to combat. But that does give you the ability to kind of customize your character to do anything you want. So if I want my prince to be a healer, like a cleric, which he kind of is like a cleric, I can do that. If I want him more offensive, if I want him more defensive, all I have to do is equip the perfect arc to him, let him master it, and then equip the skills that fit the archetype that I'm looking for. So that is how that system works. If we go back over here to arcs, now here are the arcs, and like I said, these are in the gacha along with the characters, but there's not that many characters in this game, and there are a nice variety of different arcs. So in my opinion, if you're playing this game, focus on getting SSR arcs. not really so much of the characters, in my opinion. So here's another example of another arc right over here. As you guys can see, this arc will teach the person that has it, Ice Javelin, Blizzard, Giga Drain, Ice Boost, Diamond Dust, ooh, Shiva, Ice Attack Raise. Also, this will give the character a passive, which is called Ice Magic, costs -2 MP. This is why I have this on my Ice Wizard right now. It's a perfect match. You're also going to get passive bonuses here as well. So you're going to get all of these over time via learning. You're going to get this right off the bat, and you're going to get these right off the bat. And then you can also level up these arcs to make them even more powerful. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It also takes these blue souls. I have never seen so many uses of like a currency in a game in any hero collector. So these right here, the blue souls and red souls are required to level up your arcs. They're also required for you to go into stages. So you're really going to be dual purpose on where these souls are used, but that's not all. There's even more uses for these souls. So it's going to be quite the gate of power in this game. So that's kind of the arc system in a nutshell. Once again, this is just a first impression. There might be a few things that I've missed, but hopefully that gives you an idea of the overall cadence of this game and why I feel that arcs are a little bit more important than heroes in this game. Thus why I didn't really want to call it a hero collector. You're really taking these single characters and really customizing them to like the umpteenth degree. Over here is where your duplicates go. So if you get duplicates, this fills this meter up, and I think it makes it more powerful as well. In addition to the arc system, you also have this Path of Exile skill tree as well. So you have this big, massive Path of Exile skill tree. I was reading the tutorial, and the tutorial on this said, go wild, enjoy yourself, and unlock the tree as you will. Unlock anything you feel like unlocking. So considering that the tutorial told me to just like unlock anything I feel like unlocking, it feels like you're gonna have enough currency to unlock everything. I don't feel like the game would tell you to just go willy-nilly and just unlock things if you had a very limited supply of being able to unlock things, you know what I mean? So I feel like you're gonna be able to get everything, but once again, don't be trying to quote me on that. I'm deleting this account anyway. Don't be using this as a guide. But as you guys can see, we just ran that green stage that you just saw. Green is basically like defensive stuff and HP. So this is the currency required there. I run that green stage, I get this little green crystal, hit unlock, boom, simple as that. Shout out to Path of Exile. There you go. Or Final Fantasy 12, another one. Your characters also have basic equipment as well. There you go, weapon, armor, accessories. I started spending a lot of gold buying armor, which once again is another reason why I'm deleting this account, because I don't think gold is a good use of buying equipment. And like I said, we'll explain that in a second. And then last but not least, you can also enhance your characters here and then awaken them. And I kind of hope, once again, I'm brand new to this game, but I kind of hope that maybe when you enhance them and awaken them, their looks change a bit. Considering that there's not a lot of characters in this game, it'd be nice to have a good degree of visual progression as well. So that is my best explanation of the arc system in a nutshell. Let's go over here to the world map. And the main reason why I didn't really want to show you the world map in this video or go through the campaign stages like I normally do is because this game has a heavy emphasis on story. There are so many cinematics in this game, a lot of dialogue. This is very reminiscent to Final Fantasy Break XVS. So there's a lot of story, a lot of dialogue. So I don't want to spoil anything for you, but here is the world map over here. Now, while you're kind of exploring the world map, be on the lookout because the game is not going to automatically unlock these for you, but you're going to see these little things right here, and they're not going to be all blue and shiny and easy to spot. Like, check this out. You see this? You don't see it, do you? It's a treasure chest. I can't unlock it just yet. But in the world, you have to be on the lookout for things like that because you're going to need them to basically increase the power of your account. So here is where you get the blue souls. And here where you get the red souls. Now there is multiple different ones across the map. Once again, be on the lookout for them. These are not the only ones, but these kind of function like an idle game per se. So over time, these just regenerate. And as you guys can see, you can click this button right over here. And I had to kind of move so I can see it because my mic's in the way. But there's a button right over here called Soul Spot. Click this, it'll show you all of the blue and red orb generators that you have unlocked. Over time, these just generate resources. So this is why I think I made a big mistake spending a bunch of my gold on equipment, because I feel like if I knew that the blue and red resources were such a massive like help on your arcs and your stamina and all that good stuff, I would have only spent money on these, because you can spend gold to increase the capacity of these so that way you have more capture rate and more capacity. So you're going to generate more and hold more as well. So I feel like this is probably the best use of your gold, at least early game. And as you guys can see, once again, if I spend some gold, now it's level 2, generates more, it holds more. Now this is another thing that kind of tricks you. The red ones don't upgrade with gold. They upgrade with blue. So you gotta get gold, you use your gold to upgrade the blue ones start generating resources, then you use the blue stuff to upgrade the red stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah. So in my opinion, if you're starting this game off, roll for arcs and save your gold to upgrade your souls over here. That is my best advice. Other than that, when we talk about actual gameplay, I showed you the daily resource grinds. We talked about that. Arena is not in the game just yet. You have this massive campaign story mode with a ton of cinematics, a ton of dialogue, English voice acting, an amazing soundtrack, a stellar soundtrack, let me just say. And then you also have your tried and true dispatch mode right over here. Look at that. They'll be gone for about 20 hours. They're gonna bring back some goodies, I hope. There you go. So my final thoughts on Last Claudia. It's a weird ride, right? When you first download the game, you first start playing it, the first 20 minutes are insanely good. Like, you're gonna be playing the first 20 minutes like, this is probably one of the best games I've ever played. So good. And then the next hour or 2 hours, it gets a bit boring. It gets really slow because the game takes too long, I feel, to unlock a lot of these other features that make the game what it is. Like, it takes too long to introduce features to you. And I think the middle, right there, the early middle part of the game, I can't even call it the middle part of the game. I've been playing the game for like several hours. I'm not in the middle part of the game, but you know what I mean. The first 20 minutes, really good. The next couple of hours, it's a bit slow, and then it finally picks back up. So I'm gonna start it over. I'm gonna start all over now that I have a better idea of what I'm doing now that I'm playing the game. I feel like I made a bunch of mistakes that's gonna make my account a little bit better if I start from the beginning. But hopefully that will help you guys out. As far as my final thoughts, I do think it's a good game. Like I said, I hate to be one of those people that are like, oh, you gotta play Final Fantasy 14, even though it sucks for the first 60 levels, it gets good at the end. I feel like I'm talking like that, but like I said, it starts off hot, it gets really cold, and then it gets warm again. That's my review. Really hot, really cold, and then nice and warm. That's my review. Official. Write it down, quote it. So let's do this gacha, I guess. What if I get something good out of the gacha? Should I still delete my account? I don't know. I'll show you the full summoning animation over here in landscape mode. It's very good. It's a very good summoning animation, I gotta say. Check this out. He busts open the portal. He jumps up. Oh, I'll touch it. Get some. Oh man, these are flashbacks to the story. That's like in the very beginning though. That's like the first 10 minutes of the story. So don't worry about that. I got no SSRs. SSRs are in red. I got no SSR. So I'm definitely starting it over. And as you guys can see in this gacha, you're just gonna get a bunch of these arcs. So these arcs are the star of the show. The characters are still cool, don't get me wrong, but the arcs are the star of this show. Do not go into this game with the same mentality that you go into most hero collectors, because I don't think that's, oh, I can see the duplicates activating right there. You see this right here? Filling up that little vial that I showed you earlier. But yeah, don't go in this game with the same mentality that you do in normal hero collectors. But that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, my name is FG3000. This has been a look at Last Claudia. How do I delete this account? I want to delete this. I want out. I did bind the account because I thought I had like this great pool because I got 3 characters in one gacha. I'll figure it out. Anyway, my name is FG3000. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.